Hello everyone, Janet Giles here. I know a lot of you that have watched my haul videos have commented that you would be interested in me filming some of the things that I actually make with the things that I buy. We all buy a lot of things. I buy a ton of things from everywhere. And I wanted to try to make an effort to do that for you guys and film some of the things that I do make. So between my Hobby Lobby hauls or my expo hauls or just the random online shopping that I do buy from everywhere. There's no specific company that I use over the others. There are a couple companies that I do tend to use more of their products, but overall I shop everywhere. So just a disclaimer, I don't work for any of the companies that I'm showing products for. I just want to show you guys some of the things that I thought of for this theme today. The theme I'm working with is coffee, and I'm actually really happy with myself because I actually just got this die set at the expo last month, and I'm actually using it already. Normally I like to hoard things for a while before I actually use them, so I'm really happy about this. So to start off, I'll show you the Creekbank Creations coffee cup shaker die that I got. It's a coffee cup, and it's got the shaker part, the acetate, the background, you know, all of it. So I'm going to show you the process of how I put one of those together. I do have two already put together. I'm going to make 3 cards today. And the coffee theme is just kind of what I was in the mood to do. I have a lot of coffee themed paper that I'll never use in my entire life, but I'm trying. So this was only $10.99, which I thought was a really good buy. I mean, that's a great price for this. So that's what I'll be using today. I wanted to show you guys a few of the stamp sets that are coffee themed in case you like the theme and you're not sure where to get stuff. Some of this stuff may or may not be available now. Some I may have had for a while, but some of it you can still probably find on eBay or some places like that. This was from Petticoat Parlor. I believe this one is still available. This was $9. I got this at the expo booth, but I like the plate of donuts and the coffee, the saying. This is just a cute little set for $9. It's very reasonably priced. And I do want to do some donut themed cards that I hope to film for you guys as well. This is a sentiment stamp set that I just got from the expo last month. And it's got some coffee themed sayings on it from my favorite things. So some of them are, words cannot espresso how much you mean to me. Thank you for memorizing my coffee order. Coffee is always better with a friend. Let's do coffee. I hope you perk up soon. You've been on my mind. All I need is you and coffee. We are the perfect blend. Sending you a birthday brew. Sending you a latte love. And let's catch up. I'll bring the coffee. So some of these sentiments I won't use, but some of them I really like. So, and I don't actually drink coffee. I just really like the theme. So I got this set at the expo last year, and basically I bought it for this like coffee bean shaped heart. I love it. And as you can see, that's the stamp that I've used. I've actually used this coffee bean as well, but I stamped out a couple of these and cut, just kind of fussy cut around the edges. I want to stamp a sentiment in there and put it on a card. It didn't work for what I was trying to do with the shaker cards today, but I hope to use this in the near future. What's neat about this, though, is you can stamp a coffee cup and you can stamp out these little amazing, awesome, fantastic, incredible, or wonderful check mark, you know, almost like a coffee order. This is Sugar Pea Designs. Again, not sure if this stuff is still available. I got this last year at this Scrapbook Expo. This one is Newton's Nook. And this one's adorable. It's got all the little coffee things. It's got a few sayings in it as well. Some of the sayings are similar from stamp set to stamp set, but they're all different enough that I bought all these different stamp sets. So, and this was actually my very last purchase at the expo this year. I couldn't decide on it, but I really loved all these different cups. There's some cute sayings. I just thought this was adorable. So this was Scrappy Tales. And this is currently available. Again, I just bought this last month, unless they sold out of it on their website. But yeah, it's cute. And this is a Stampin' Up! Stamp set that I bought a couple years ago, so I know it's not available in current right now. You may be able to find it on eBay if you like it, but it's got some really cute things in it too. So those are the stamp sets. And let me just show you a little bit of the paper that I'm using today. Again, just in case any of you guys are interested in any of this stuff. I know some of this stuff is still available. Newton's Nook. I really like this company a lot because it's just, they just got adorable paper. Now, Newton, I think, is the cat, and so they make cat-themed stamps, and there's dogs as well. But this one, I really like this paper pad. It's got cats and dogs in it, but this is just a great coffee paper pad. I mean, look at these colors. The colors are just so pretty. The patterns are adorable. It's even got books in it. So yeah, this is one of my favorite companies to buy paper pads from. And that just repeats. You get 2 of each. And then at the expo from Scrappy Boy Stamps, I picked up this paper set. I picked this up last year, but he actually had it this year as well. And you can kind of see what all the different patterns are on that. So that is some of the paper that I'm using today and a variety of the stamp sets. I use Queen & Company sketches a lot. So they, on their Facebook page, under the file section, they do have sketches that use their foundation dies. So these pieces here that are cut with decorative dies with the stitching, those are from Queen & Company. And that's what I make all of my cards with. I use all those sketches because it's quick, it's easy, and these things layer together beautifully, as you can see. So what I've done so far, just so this video isn't so long that you fall asleep, is I've pre-done 2 of the shakers, so 2 of these coffee cups, and you can see all the adorable little bits in there. Let me actually show you what I'm using in there. So at the Creek Bank Creations booth at the expo, I got this, they call it Shake and Rattle Shaker Box Filling. This is chocolate. I like this one a lot because it's got the 2 different color browns. It's got little sprinkles and little balls. It's really cute for coffee cups. And then these are little coffee beans. I don't know how well you can see these, but I found these on Etsy. And I get a lot of shaker toppings on Etsy, actually. So those are the things that I put inside these. So I'm going to put those aside. But yeah, I actually pre-cut all my pieces for the cards, again, just to save time. But I do want to show you guys how you can use something like this. And this is designed to be a shaker, so it's going to work out. Some things work better than others, but basically what I did, I have different foam. I have Queen & Company foam, which is double-sided adhesive foam, which I like. And then I also just buy sheets of foam from work at Hobby Lobby in the craft section, which, you know, they're pretty cheap as well. So what I did, though, is I put, I don't know how well you can see this again, but I did put 2 together. So the foam is pretty thin, and you want it to be thick enough to put shaker bits inside of. So I did 2 pieces of foam together, and I basically just used this die here to cut that out. And then I used that same die that cuts this foam. I used it with brown cardstock to get the outside of the cup. And then I used it with a coffee bean paper to get the inside of the cup. I decided to make all of these cups with just coffee beans, and they're different. They're different papers, but I decided just to make, you know, them with beans and use this kind of pattern paper on the outside. This paper here, I didn't show you. It's not in a little paper pad. It's a 12 by 12, and it is a photo play line, and it's called, let me look here. I've got one of the sheets. The Daily Grind. So here's the cover sheet of the collection. If you are interested in that, that's by Photo Play. And it's their Color Play line. I think Color Play and Photo Play are the same thing. It's one of their lines. But this one they still are selling at the expo. And I'm sure you can still get this one online and stuff like that. But okay, so then I cut out this piece here, which is the background, so that I have something to put the shaker on. And I just cut it out in white because it's all going to be covered up anyway. So what I need to do at this point is I'm going to pull off the adhesive backing of this foam. Now, if you're not using adhesive backed foam, you would just put glue on it. And honestly, I'm going to put glue on it anyway because I just want to make sure that it does stay. I would rather have more glue and make sure it stays than not enough glue. So sometimes these foams aren't super sticky and sometimes they are. So all I'm going to do is layer that on top of the white background piece. And I like to smush it down in there. Maybe some of you can relate to that. Then I'm going to put my little shaker bits in here, and you can dump them or you can, you know, scoop them or whatever. I just tend to use like a little spoon, and lots of crafting companies sell these, so they're the thing to use to get them out of bags. Some of my shaker bits are in jars and I just kind of shake them out on there, but these are just like this right now. So first I'm going to glue in the center pattern paper. And pop that in there. Just kind of press it down from all angles. And then I am going to fill it up with little shaker bits. And I am an overfiller. I like a lot of shaker bits, so I'm going to try to go easy. You do want them to shake around, so if you fill too much, they're not going to do anything in there. So it kind of defeats the purpose of a shaker card. And I really wish I would have bought 2 of these instead of just 1. I'm trying to get better and not buy doubles of everything, but then when I don't, I wish I did. And see, that might actually be overfilled already because I can't help myself. Sometimes I tilt it down like this just to see like how it'll fall and if it'll, you know, fall nicely. This one's a little bit more full than it needs to be, but I'm going to leave it like that. Even though you can't see the pattern paper super well, you know, it's going to just be full. Then I used this piece up here, which is this piece here, to cut the acetate. And I'm sure you probably can't see that too well, but it's just a clear sheet of acetate. So since this is sticky, I'm going to peel this sticky thing off so it exposes the sticky side. And I'm going to actually just pop that down. Now this doesn't fit exactly. It's going to just cover that hole though. So there's still going to be sticky exposed around here. And then I'm just going to take the outline, which is this thing here, which again, I cut out in brown and the coffee beans so that I could have both of them. And I'm just going to put glue on the back of that. And it's going to cover all that adhesive up. And you know what would be really good to do, which I didn't think about till right now. I have brown foam. I could have cut this foam out in brown and you wouldn't see all the white edges and stuff. You can take a marker and color all that. Sometimes I find that to be more trouble than it's worth, but it is an option. But you know, you wouldn't see any of the white. But that's my shaker. So that's how easy it is to put them together. And again, this set was a great value and it is current because I just bought it like a month ago. So again, $11. If you like the coffee theme, you know, you can visit Creek Bank Creations website and kind of look around there and see if they have something that you might like. So I guess we'll start with this card here. So once again, I cut a lot of these pieces out already just to save time. And I'm going to just assemble them, which, you know, is something easy. I know you guys know how to do that already, but just so you can kind of see the whole process. Usually I just pick a pattern paper that I really like, and then I pick cardstock colors to match it. And these card bases are actually card bases that I got from work when they went on clearance, and they're already colored. So, and I always stamp on the back, handmade by Janet Giles. But they're already colored, so I don't even have to use a piece of paper. I'm trying to get better about using them because sometimes I go ahead and cut the background paper forgetting that I already have a card base to match. So I did go ahead and stamp the little swirlies. Those I stamped from this stamp set right here. That's kind of like the steam coming out of the cup. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of see where that's going to be before I put this down. So I stamped out "Sending You a Birthday Brew." And again, I used a combination of these stamps. So there's not any like one stamp set that I used a lot. And it's going to kind of go like that. But before I do all that, something else that I really like to use, and I use a lot, and this is another company that I buy from a lot, is Crazy Creations. And they have border stickers. I'm going to show you the sticker book real quick. But it's filled with border stickers. And what I like about these is they just add a little bit of bling to your card without adding too much. So I'm going to use red borders to go around this yellow. The yellow is very bright and it's really pretty. It's just, I think a red border around it would look nice. So I always use tweezers, and I have these from Crazy Creations as well. They're super sharp and pointy, but just use tweezers to kind of pull these borders off. And I hate to cover up that stitching, but I'm going to. And I'm just going to line these up along the edges of the side of the cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and just put it around the whole thing. And when I have a little piece like this, sometimes I save the smaller pieces. That one I'm not going to even bother with. It's too tiny to worry about at this point. But, and again, I'm not sure if you can tell with the lighting. I don't know if it's too bright in here or not bright enough. I have lights on just so it's not too dark. But this has it's like a holographic shine to it. So I'll hold it up in a second. It's a nice way to embellish your cards without adding a whole lot of embellishments. That's one thing I really like about it. So, I'll put my border stickers back away here. I'm a clean as you go crafter. I don't like to leave a mess that I have to clean up later. Okay, so let me hold that up and see if you can see the shininess. I think it just adds a little something to it, and it brings that red in there and ties that in a little bit. So now that I've done that, now I'm going to go back to putting this where I want it. So it's going to look like that. So I'm going to first glue on my sentiment just to make sure the placement of the coffee cup is where I need it to be. I really like this art glitter glue. It does dry pretty fast. Like, you don't have a lot of time to really move stuff around. You've got a little bit of time and that's it. But I like that it dries fast so I don't have to sit there and like hold it down or anything. And then I'm going to just position this so it looks like the steam is coming out of the cup. And I'm going to make sure this handle's all the way on the paper. See, there's a little bit of white showing on there. I would have probably, if I would have thought about it, I would have used brown foam to cut that out. And something else I'm going to do that is really fun to do that I don't think about all the time is I'm going to use these little shaker bits as embellishments on the card because they're just little coffee beans. So I'm just going to make little dots, just a few little dots here and there. And I'm going to actually just put these little coffee beans. I'm going to use my tweezers. These tweezers come in handy for lots of things. But I'm just going to position them so they're just facing different ways. Let me get that one over here. And again, the glue dries quick, so these should be on there pretty good in just a minute. And this adds a little bit of 3D to the card, but not terribly so. So there. And then something else I like to do is I like to put washi tape on the inside of my card. So I don't have a lot of coffee washi tape. I've just kind of collected this wherever I could find it. One place that's really great for washi tape is Eyelet Outlet. They have all kinds of washi tape and brads. I'm going to use the brads on another card. So let me just show you some brads here. These are coffee themed ones. But I'm just going to pick one of these that kind of would match. I guess this brown one, because it's brown, it'll match. Let me put these little beans back in here. If I can get them up with my fingernails. I don't have a lot of fingernails here. All right. So I like to just put a strip of washi tape on the inside of the card. I just think that it adds something so the card's not so plain on the inside. I know some people will stamp or put embellishments on the inside, which you can also do, but I just put a little washi tape strip. Sometimes I do it at the top too, but this is where I can also stamp another sentiment, or I can write a sentiment in there. So that's my completed card for that one. And then my next one is using that Scrappy Boy paper pad. And again, just real easily assembled. Like, these are not hard cards. These are pretty simple. And honestly, those Queen and Company sketches just make everything simple. Like, if you have all their foundation dies, which I do, and I can just follow the sketches as I wish and put cards together real fast. The things that takes the longest for me is just picking out the paper and, you know, the cardstock colors. Just coordinating everything is the time-consuming part for me. I also have a coffee bean stencil that would be fun to make cards with, which I'm not using today. But again, this is just the beginning. I'm going to try to film what I make more than just what I buy. Although I know it's fun to see what other people buy. I love seeing what other people buy. But this is my effort to use some of the stuff that I buy. I thought about stamping the steam coming out here, but there's really not enough space there, so I'm just going to let that one be. And hope your day is full of perks. And actually for this one, I think I'm going to use the coffee beans again because they're small. I don't have a ton of embellishments for coffee. I have more stamps, so I could stamp out stuff and you know, color it in, but I just didn't feel like doing that today. But these are just some, I have coffee and tea. And this I got, you know, at work when it got clearanced out, coffee and donuts. And I love these. We got rid of these too at work, which I hate. These are so cool. But again, they're just too big for the space that I have. So these coffee beans are perfect size. And I'm just going to do 2 this time, I think, on each side. This is just a fun theme. I don't know why I enjoy it so much, but I just do. And again, I'm going to add in some washi tape. And I think this time I'll use, this one just has a hint of pink in it, but this is a brown card mostly. It's pretty neutral. So, you know, again, it's impossible to have washi tape to match every single thing. So, you know, I just like to get close to what it would be, I guess. Just something that goes good enough with it. And this one's a skinny one, so I'm actually going to do it at the top too, I think. Because I'll still have plenty of room for a sentiment. And there we go. Card number 2. And card number 3. This is using that Newton's Nook paper pad, which is just super adorable. I actually struggled with preparing this one because I wanted to use the purple and the green, but the blue also really just pops. So I did finally settle on the blue as the background and then using the purple and green for smaller pieces. So I'm going to put this down first. And on this card, I'm going to be using the brads that I have from Eyelet Outlet. And they have brads for almost everything, too. It's just, that's a great website. You should check it out if you like little embellishments and washi tape and stuff. Something I have started trying to do is putting the card together without putting it on this base, which is not what I just did here because I don't need to. But these brads are just so adorable, and I have so many, and I find that I don't use them as much because I've already glued everything down, and you don't want the brads to stick out on the inside of the card. In this case, though, I'm going to use them on this strip, so it doesn't matter if I glued this stuff down or not. So I'm going to use my paper piercer to just punch holes where they're going to go. So I'm just going to punch a hole there. I'm going to punch a hole here. My sentiment is almost centered. It's slightly off-centered because I was eyeballing it. But these brads just make such cute embellishments for cards. And I'm just super happy that I'm using some of them right now. You guys actually have no idea how happy I am to be using my stuff. Okay, so once it's like this, I press this down. I press these down to really flatten out the back. So these brads are 3D, but they're not like super pop-up 3D. So they're great to put on your card, and they're not going to make your card super duper thick. but I might pop that up. So it's going to make it a little thicker, but it doesn't have to. So right now I'm going to position where that's going to go, which I think it's actually going up here. So it's kind of going like that. So let me get this glued down here. I'm going to kind of center it because nothing is going underneath of it. It's kind of layering. And then we're going to put that down there. And then I'm going to kind of eyeball this real quick to see, because I want the coffee cup to still be in the white square, but I also want some of that white square showing at the bottom. So with this specific one, I think I don't think I'm going to pop it up because I kind of might have to have that layered on top of it. So I'm not going to pop that up. But since I flattened this out a lot, it's not going to be too much of a problem. I am going to have to hold it here for a second though, just to make sure that with the 3D aspect in the back that it, you know, the paper grabs. Because like right here, it kind of has to bend down a little bit. So I'm just going to hold it there for a second. Give the glue a chance to dry around it. And then I'm gonna, and quite honestly, I don't even mind if the edges here pop up a little bit. As long as the center doesn't and the whole sentiment is still adhered on there, I really don't care either way. So I'm gonna have that cup overlap a little bit. And this one says, how have you been? So I made sure each of them had a different sentiment on it. So there's that one. And this square would have probably looked nice with one of those border stickers going around it, but I would say it's too late now, but it's really not. I could actually add it and just, you know, cut, you know, just go around to where the green is, but I'm not going to do that right now, I don't think, but I could have. So that's that card, and I'm going to go ahead and put, not really in love with any of the washi tape options that I have. So I'm going to just go with the brown because it's just basic brown. And this specific washi, I think this one's a Doodlebug one. And this line I don't think is available anymore, unfortunately. I buy a lot of stuff on scrapbook.com as well. So you can just search coffee and see what comes up. That's kind of what I do a lot of the time. And there we go. So these are my 3 cards. Again, simple, but I think they're really cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you're looking forward to some more videos of just a lot of random different things I'm going to make. I don't have any method of my madness. I'm just going to pick things that I want to work with and, you know, just show them to you guys. So again, these are coffee themed cards using a lot of the different products that I showed you. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and have a great day. Bye.